What's up, and welcome back to the Kind of Funny Screencast. As always, I'm Tim Geddes, joined by Greg Miller.
Hello.
The big dog, Kevin Coelho.
Hey.
The producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Great morning to you.
And the Nitro Rifle, Andy Cortez.
Great morning, everybody.
Thank you so much for offering me a great morning. I will accept that great morning, everybody, because this is the Kind of Funny Screencast, where each and every week we get together to talk about the latest in TV and movies and all things MCU. Of course, we've been doing weekly reviews of Marvel's. Nick, give it to me.
What if?
Thank you. Thank you. It just gets more and more ridiculous every week, and I love it so much. But you can get the show on youtube.com/kindoffunny or roosterteeth.com if you want to get it as a podcast. Just search your favorite podcast service for Kind of Funny Screencast, and we'll be right there for you. And if you wanted to get the show ad-free, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny, and you'll be able to do just that. Today, we're talking about episode 8, the penultimate episode of Disney Plus's Marvel's What If. This one is What If Ultron Won. Greg Miller, I want to start with you on this one.
You know, it might be coming off of 2 back-to-back episodes that I felt didn't deliver the what if experience I wanted, but I loved this episode. I adored this. This is what I wanted out of this series. You know, when we started episode 1 and did Agent Carter or Captain Britannia or whatever the fuck her name is.
Britannia.
Encyclopedia Britannia. Britannia.
What's her name? What is it? Captain Carter? Captain Carter.
Captain Carter.
I love that episode, right? And this episode, I love for a lot of the same reasons where, all right, cool, let's take the world, let's shift it, but keep it serious, right? The last two I felt, or the last one in particular was way too cartoony. The one before that felt like they were just rushing it. Obviously, this one being 2 episodes, at least, having the room to breathe helps out a lot. But I thought it was some of the best performances in terms of the main characters, where for Nat and Hawkeye, I loved their interactions. I thought they were really good. I thought Jeffrey Wright getting off the bench and being the Watcher and having that fear in his voice was excellent. I thought the animation was awesome. Again, I'm usually not the fight scene guy. I thought all the fight scenes in this were awesome. Like when, Hawkeye's burying them with the arrows in the very beginning and they're flying around, they're all getting destroyed, Nat's and all that stuff. And then she kills him with the motorcycle to Ultron fighting Captain Marvel at the center of a planet. Like, even then the Watcher and Ultron battling through universes. Like, I thought it was a visual treat. I thought the story was really interesting, and I thought the performances were great.
Andy Cortez.
Good episode, Marvel. You fucking did it. You made a good one that I enjoyed, and I thought this was the finale. So I don't know what the hell could possibly be next. But yeah, I totally agree with Greg. Pretty much everything verbatim. I loved Jeffrey Wright's performance. I loved the fear that the audience is sort of instilled with when Ultron is like, there's other multiverses, and he just covers it like, oh my god, what the fuck? that feeling that he had like echoed like exactly in my body as well. I felt like that. Oh my god, this is freaky as hell. I thought it was great. I wish at this point we got to go after just impressionists. Like, we can go after the James Spader impressionist. We got to get the James Spader impressionist. This time, Tony Stark's bit better overall this time, I think.
Dude, come on, Andy. No, Andy. They said your fucking line, and then he has like 3 other lines of dialogue. They couldn't have reached out for you.
I see suit around the world. See, like, perfect. Just do it right there.
Oh, yeah,
it could have been perfect.
It was really bad.
That's really... what was that? It was like Bruce Banner, like some nerdy ass.
I
Bruce
see suit around the world.
Starbucks could do that.
That's the way it goes. Anyway, Jeffrey Wright's performance was fantastic. James Spader sounded like could have been a little bit better, but the action was fantastic.
It was Ross McQuarrie, I think his name is. He's from The Walking Dead, but he was also Red Skull in Infinity War.
Oh, man, cool. They are getting the juice out of that guy, huh? They must have signed him for like just to be on standby for whatever we need.
I loved all the sort of multiverse hopping. Anytime you see sort of that variety in visuals, I think is really cool. And yeah, I just really enjoyed this episode. And I thought it was the last one. Shit, I don't know what the hell the next one could possibly be.
It's going to be Weirdos Assemble. He's going to go assemble all the menagerie that we've met.
That's cool.
I get to keep my job, Andy. I'm very excited about that.
I mean, fucking Jesus Christ. Thank God, Tim. Thank God.
Thank God. Nick Scarpino, what'd you think?
I really liked it. There was a couple standout moments for me in this one. I mean, I've liked the series the entire way through. I thought it was just super creative, and the fact that they're actually giving us a payoff with building toward all these characters coming back is, to me, icing on the cake. I would have been fine with it just being standalone stories and little parables, but I think it's super cool. The moment that Thanos comes out of sort of like his portal and then just gets immediately cut in half, I was like, oh shit, this is some real stuff. And then there's that beautiful moment Andy was talking about where he finally destroys the known universe, and then he can hear the Watcher, and he's like, "Who said that?" And the Watcher's like, "Oh shit!" Those are great moments, and those are really hard to create, and they nailed it in this episode. And him landing and ending with that strange version of Doctor Strange in his own little prison, and him being like, "You got to say it, man." He's like, "Fine, like I disavow." Like, guys, I'm coming off the bench finally. I'm getting in the game. It was super cool.
I mean, Koala.
I was real hot in this episode. I thought this one was very strong. It kind of gave me a lot of what I felt like I was missing. It isn't perfect. I think there's a couple issues that I'm like, that's interesting that they're not, respecting certain rules that they've set up. But for the most part, I enjoyed all of it. I thought the action was really cool. And it's building. Like, I'm very excited about seeing next week's episode. So yeah, I'm in a good spot with this one for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
I loved it. I continue to love this show. The thing I love about the show most that I keep saying, and I somehow keep being able to say it, is I feel like every episode has its own identity in terms of structure and in terms of how much it's playing with the rules of what if and whatever it's trying to go for. And I'm with Nick in the sense that I've loved each individual episode, but it all coming together is just kind of the cherry on top. And I think that they clearly are working towards something and have a plan. I like that this feels consequential. In my opinion, this episode is essentially as good as What If is going to get. And I think they kind of nailed the premise, nailed what they were going for. And they've been building towards this. All the episodes, all the sad endings to the different universes, like that's all coming to this point. And I like that we've had now 8 episodes. None of them outstayed their welcome. I know there's arguments to be made that some of them didn't quite have enough of a welcome and the pacing was a little too fast, but I like it. I like that we're familiar with these worlds so we can fill in the gaps, and some of the worlds are inconsequential and some of the universes like are goofier and don't matter as much, but some of them do, and this one does. And the way they're dealing with this and the Watcher and Ultron's whole battle through the multiverse was so awesome. I love that we're getting so many different properties now with WandaVision, Loki, upcoming No Way Home, and this all dealing with the multiverse in different ways, but we're seeing similar iconography and similar types of things. I think this episode's weakest point was if they had James Spader, it really would have been awesome. Like, James Spader's voice is just so powerful.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's hard
to beat.
Yeah. And
When
like that's just such so close to being perfect.
When he opened his mouth for the first time and got the one Ultron line out right before becoming Vision, I was like, oh, this makes sense. They have Paul Bettany on the roster on this show. They'll just do that. And then when he kept going, I was like, oh yeah, I guess you wouldn't have that if you didn't do this and blah, blah. And then I was like, ah, shit, that sucks. Cause like I got used to it at the end, but yeah, Spader would have fucking crushed this.
Yeah, totally. And in terms of like what this show is, I last week I was even saying that like I wish they didn't show all the voice actors in the beginning of the show, and they saved the Benedict Cumberbatch for the end. So it's like they get it, they know when they have a moment they want to keep it there. I thought that was really, really cool. I think that the Easter eggs in this one are awesome, and I love that the show, a lot of the Easter eggs don't necessarily just need to be Easter eggs. They could be seeds that are going to turn into something in the future or not. And that's kind of what's awesome about this is really showing that in the MCU, the multiverse can be anything. And they say that multiple times in this episode. But the idea of going back, and we know that there are living people in the universes we've seen for each of the episodes, like the idea of what group's going to get together next week, I'm really excited for. And I'm even more excited for, is there going to be a post-credit scene? Like, are they going to do something crazy? I got some theories. I want to see if you guys, do you have any ideas?
About who the team's going to be that they assemble, or the post-credits?
But let's start with the team thing. Like, who
Let's
do you?
start, yeah,
who
I
do you think
want
is
to pick people's brains on the team, because obviously
Agent Carter.
it's going to be Agent Carter.
for
It's going
sure.
to be
Weird ass Doctor
Let's go
Strange.
episode by episode.
Yeah.
So Captain Carter for episode 1.
Captain Carter for sure is coming, right?
Episode 2 was the Star-Lord Black Panther.
He's coming for
imagine
sure.
It'll be
That's
him.
badass.
3
You gotta bring
was
these
the
up.
Avengers murder mystery.
Wait, hold on. I think there's a chance they might not have Star-Lord Black Panther, because his universe gets eaten by Ego, right?
But I imagine that this is coming in at the time to like get him before the
You think
universe
so?
ends.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
would
so
think
the
that like
second one
I
was
would think it's
T'Challa.
inconsequential how your episode ends because most of them ended with like, man, everything's great. Oh shit, no, it's not. Like I would imagine like you're just picking them out before that, and then if there's a season 2 and they want to double down on that kind of shit, they double down on that kind of shit.
Yeah, episode 3 is kind of harder. I don't know.
That
'Cause,
might
like,
be Loki, right? You think Loki will be a part of it?
yeah, it could be. I mean, it would be really interesting if was Hank Pym still alive at the end of it?
Yeah, they took him into custody.
That'd
Yeah.
be cool if it was
That'd
him.
be dope.
But-
That would be cool actually, because he'd be the Ant-Man. Then Doctor Strange for number 4, and then the
Definitely.
5 was the zombies.
Yeah,
So I'm
so you're
curious
gonna
if
go
they're
Spider-Man, Paul Rudd's head.
Or Bucky, who gets
Also,
just kind of
probably.
tossed away
Well, Spider-Man
Oh, I
gets
see what you mean.
the
the cape.
thing on him for a minute, right? Like it doesn't
Yeah.
stay
Yeah.
on him.
It does.
Does it?
It goes over to Ant-Man for a while.
Paul
Oh,
Rudd's
you're
head.
right. Yeah,
please.
it goes to Paul Rudd's head. Yeah, my apologies.
Paul Rudd's head is the only comedy that's worked in the show for me. I feel. I want Paul Rudd's head back. I need that to return.
That needs to come back. That would be
Yeah.
amazing. And then 6, of course, we got Killmonger,
Killmonger, and then
Which is
Thor.
an interesting
and then
one.
Thor.
Party Thor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Party
That's a
Thor.
cool
Killmonger,
team.
I forget,
Frat Boy
does Killmonger survive? Does he get away with everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Well, no,
episode
it
ends
ends
with
with, like, a battle.
Pepper. It ends
With
with
them.
Pepper and
Oh, that's
Shuri.
true.
Shuri being like, "There's hope."
Oh, okay.
So maybe
Yeah.
they're coming back as
It could
Iron
also
Man
be
and
Shuri,
yeah.
Iron Peoples.
Interesting, yeah. And then the last one, or this one, I imagine we'll get Black Widow with the
Well,
Red
before
Guardian
this Thor,
shield.
are you getting
And
Windude's
and
Thor?
Zola, right?
This podcast is brought to you by Me Undies. Are you afraid of the glow in the dark? Well, shield your eyes because the new Me Undies Halloween just dropped dead. Get it? Because there's new Halloween Me Undies out. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Greg Miller and I'm the king of Halloween and I love my Me Undies. Of course, they're the only underwear I wear and I'm always happy throughout the year when I get to my candy corn MeUndies. I've had those for a long time and I like them quite a bit, but now they got new Halloween prints. You don't have to do that. MeUndies are made from natural fibers sourced from beechwood trees, making their micromodal, fabric soft, breathable, and dangerously cozy. Get your spooky season up and haunting with 5 new prints: I See You, and that's EYE, My Boo, Tricks and Treats, Lazy Bones, and Lazy Pumpkin. Available in undies, bralettes, socks, and loungewear in sizes XS through 4XL. There are a lot of options to consider, but make a decision quickly because there's somebody right behind you. To get 15% off your first order and free shipping and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/morning. That's MeUndies.com/morning. Our other sponsor of the day, why, it's Quip, ladies and gentlemen. When's the last time you got rewarded for brushing your teeth? With Quip's smart electric toothbrush, good habits can earn great perks like free products, gift cards, and more. The Quip Smart Brush for adults and kids connects to the Quip app with Bluetooth. Track when and how well you brush, get tips and coaching to improve your habits, earn points for daily brushing and bonus points for completing challenges like streaks. Redeem for rewards like free products, gift cards, and discounts from Quip and its partners. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Greg Miller and I use this toothbrush. It's very simple. I have the all black one. It syncs up with my phone. It tells me how much, and then I get to redeem it all the time for free gift cards. And you know, they make you brush a long time to do it, but you do get it in the end, which I appreciate. Start getting rewards for brushing your teeth today. Go to getquip.com/kindafunny, all one word, right now to save $10 on a Quip Smart Electric Toothbrush. That's $10 off a smart electric toothbrush at getquip.com/kindafunny, GETQUIP.com/kindafunny. Quip, the good habits company.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so,
AI Zola, which
which
is
Which was
weird.
cool. What a great callback.
Is it
to, like,
Nazi?
I loved
it. I loved
Piece
it.
of shit
I love
guy?
it.
Yeah.
because I love it because it kind of like in the world, obviously we've seen it and it makes sense. And there's that one moment where he's like, "You're right there, you're right next to the thing, and you've got like, don't quit now." And I love that they're like, the only way we can beat this like all-knowing, all-seeing, all like god of a computer AI is with analog. They got to go back to that old school like tape, reel-to-reel analog. Which I know, Kevin, you're like, there's no freaking way that's even possible. But it's so cool to have his whole consciousness just be kind of laid off to tape.
I
Which, you know-
appreciated
No,
that
yeah,
too. It was they had that whole exchange too, where he like starts to like, you're probably and like, no, we've done this
No,
before. I know who you are.
Yeah.
Like we got
we gotta
problems.
skip through that. Yeah.
I like
That
that.
was
It's
cool.
just weird to have like he's a Nazi. Like even when he left, right? I guess
Oh, yeah.
he leaves the Nazi party to become
Nazi
part of
Hydra.
They
Hydra.
always
Yeah.
they,
And
they
then
always
becomes
said
S.H.I.E.L.D.
that. Yeah, but they like their justification for it was like Hydra was always Like,
science.
Hitler was always like the Nazi thing. We were wanting to do more and just kind of kill everybody or whatever. Like we're more evil than
Right,
that.
that's
Like
right.
But then the question becomes: is
More
the
evil than
strategy
Hitler.
Yeah.
put the team together so they can get Zola close enough to him to like infiltrate his brain, right, and shut him down? And then what happens if that happens? You know what I mean? Am I crazy?
Yeah. Because then Zola could potentially
Because then could just do everything
controlling.
that
But I think at that point
Ultron's doing.
they just turn Zola into a good guy.
Yeah, but
He won't
Zola
be a
even
good guy.
said
He'll-
in this, he was like, "How do you know I won't like?" But you know, they're like, "How do you know this guy's not going to betray you?" Right? This guy's
Right.
like, you know,
Yes.
he's super smart. Like, giving him the keys to the kingdom doesn't necessarily
I-
mean he's going to turn good all of a sudden. He can just destroy everyone, take over the known universe.
I think the fact that they already kind of mentioned and went through that line of dialogue
trust
means
them.
that won't happen. Like in movies, when somebody shows up somewhere, they're like, "Have you been followed?" No, I checked. That line of dialogue is all you kind of
Yeah,
need
but
as
then
the viewer to be
sometimes,
like,
Andy,
okay, nobody will follow them. Like
Sometimes they finish the scene and then a car comes out and they're like, "You were followed." And it's like, "Damn it, I
You
thought I
lied to
thought
me.
I
No,
should-"
it's not
Yeah,
that. My
that does
cover's
happen.
blown.
you know?
Real quick, just to touch on the things that I didn't like. I kind of feel like there's two things going on. One, they're breaking the Infinity Stones not working in other universes.
That's what I thought too. I was like, wait, he shouldn't be able to use those in
Tim's
in
got
that
something to
little
say.
pocket.
Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
No.
They only don't work in the TVA. They work in other universes, as shown in Endgame, when they take them to a different timeline.
Oh, good point.
No, you and I have had an argument about this where that's technically the same timeline, right? Well, it doesn't matter. Their stones are from the past going to the present, so it's still in the same. You know what I mean? It does a little doop where it jumps out of the timeline back into the timeline. But
So in the comics, the Infinity Stones do not work in other realities. That is not the rules of the MCU so far. In the rules of the MCU, they use timeline and universe as synonyms. So anytime there's a change from the Nexus point, that becomes a new universe. So we saw that in Endgame, and they used the stones from the 2012 timeline or from all the different timelines. And those timelines still exist, and we're taken out of a universe to a different universe.
the whole point of Endgame was they circumvent creating new timelines by at the end of Endgame placing them exactly back at the moment they were taken. But that doesn't matter. So there's some questions there for me where it's like, oh, that's kind of iffy. Also, this is interesting because I do feel like, and I know this is for a smaller crowd. This won't affect the not everyone's watching What If, but it is one of those things where like we have our first multiverse entity or enemy, and I don't know, it kind of feels like I'd like that to be more introduced. Like I'm excited for Quantumania and Loki. I guess what's his face was already been Kang has been introduced in Loki, so I guess never mind
then.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, get hype predictions for post credits for next week. I got a couple.
I'll listen, Tim. I just don't even want to put myself through that. I can already see myself getting sad.
Andy, cover your eyes.
Number one, I think a simple one that I'd be least interested in, still stoked, but least interested in is Kang in some form, whether live action or animated. Something I'd be more interested in is live action Carter. Seeing Haley Atwell in the outfit.
Oh my god!
Even more, her and Benedict Cumberbatch as Supreme Strange together in some form.
See, I'm with Andy. You
and
fucking
even more,
you ruined it.
Jeffrey Wright is the Watcher.
Oh, he's fidget spinning.
Oh my gosh! Careful! Be careful!
I'm just
You just
saying,
got
it'd
me
be
so
fucking cool,
hyped.
get hype stuff. And look, we need to follow the rules of these Disney Plus shows so far. Some deliver and some don't. We're either getting Luke Skywalker or we're getting Ralph Boner. But hey, we've gotten Luke Skywalker, we've gotten Kang, so anything can happen. Or not. I'm not saying expect that. I'm saying I would like that.
Live action would be wild. Just the idea of that. Because that I feel like would push it all to be like, hey, take this show serious. I know that's kind of like annoying to say, but it's I feel like if they have a live action cuts or a post credit scene, like that elevates this in a way that would like I'd be very excited for.
Of course, yeah. I mean, last week we had Thor partying, like that would elevate it to a different echelon of hey, Marvel viewers who have been kind of sleeping on this, you need to watch it because of this thing. I don't want to get my hopes and expectations up.
Same time though, like I'm at a place where if they just end this well, I think this is by far their best show that they've done, in my opinion.
Crazy.
I just think like I think that they can do so much more with this animated format, and I think this is so creative, and I think it's such a cool, just one-off run of a series. I like this a lot. I hope they just I just want the final episodes to be. It's one more episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, final episode. Just stick the landing. Let's go. You got it. You got the gold right now. You're on the balance bar. You're like, okay, all I have to do is just do that cool thing, or they jump off and maybe snap both of their Achilles heels. It doesn't matter. Just stick it.
Oh, jeez.
Stick it.
Four things I wrote down that I wanted to point out that I thought are cool. One, Nick, the shout out for Mima. Thought you'd appreciate that. Two, I liked that. I need to rewatch it tonight with G to confirm this, but I think that we never see Ultron use all of the stones. He's always using different combinations of ones, which I think is really cool. And I just kind of like, I mean, the power levels of all that aren't fully explained, but I like that every time we've seen all the stones used, it fucks people up, even the Hulk. So I like that with this, it seems like he's only using 2 or 3 at one time. Of course, I love the music stuff. We got Miss Marvel's theme when the Watcher fight was happening. The theme of What If was playing with it. I thought that was cool. And there was 2 kind of like light references or like ideas from the Ultimate Universe from the comics that I really liked in this. In the background, we saw Steve Rogers being sworn in as president, which is really cool. And that's from a storyline in the Ultimate Comics where because of the X-Men mutant situation, like the United States gets divided into like what states support mutants and what states don't. And Steve Rogers becomes president to deal with all that. And it's a really cool storyline. Andy.
Did we get that? Was that just like a straight up Galactus reference or Easter egg or whatever? That I thought that was really cool.
Which one? That was cool.
When Ultron is like eating a planet.
Oh, he eats the whole like galaxy or whatever it was. Yeah, that was cool.
That was really sick. I'm shocked that that Ultron didn't just shatter his hand when he punches the Watcher, because that dude's got a big ass head. Holy shit!
He got a noggin.
Don't punch right there. That's the hard part.
And the last thing I want to say, this isn't necessarily a reference. I just like this type of character development of going back to Supreme Strange and having him be a character, because he was well developed in the episode he debuted in, and I didn't necessarily expect to see him come back in what seems to be this big of a role. And it reminds me a lot of the Ultimate take on Reed Richards, where in the Ultimate comics, everyone tends to be a lot younger, so we get to see them kind of grow up. So everyone is given the Spider-Man treatment a bit more, including the Fantastic Four. And Reed Richards, being a young, smart dude, kind of like never fully turns into Mr. Fantastic that we know from the normal universe, and he kind of turns evil and he becomes this character called the Maker. And it's this idea of like, what if one of our greatest heroes that's so smart is actually bad, and what can that look like? And the most interesting storylines with him are when he has to work with the good guys again and is able to help out and stuff. And he's one of they killed the Ultimate comics about a decade ago at this point, but the Maker is one of the few characters to make the jump to the main universe along with Miles Morales. So it's like, it's pretty cool that this Strange character to me kind of seems to be referencing that trajectory. And like, I really like that, because that's really cool storytelling.
Want to put a suit around the world.
Way better.
Way better. Thank you so much for that, Andy.
But in this one they did it a little bit different. He did it different. That's why
he was angry. He was angry.
Again, we were just talking about how we didn't like that
around
delivery. We wanted the Andy delivery. Andy should have had this job. Kevin Feige, where you at?
Where you at?
Kev,
let us know in the comments below where you think Kevin Feige might be at, and what you want to see in the next episode of What If, the final episode of What If. I'm very excited for it. Let us know in the comments. Until next time, love you. Bye.
What?